Colleagues, this is a properly constituted special council meeting. I take this opportunity to welcome the Chief Whip, leaders of the opposition, honorable councillors, municipal manager, and all our officials, media, and everyone connected to this meeting. I declare this meeting officially open. Honorable councillors, this special council meeting is convened in a term of council standing rules and for the purpose of commemorating a deceased person. Yesterday, we received shocking news of the ultimate death of Councillor F.A. Haas, who was a member of council representing the Democratic Alliance. Therefore, this special council is convened to commemorate his life. Application for leave of absence. Councillor Jubert.
Yes, apologies, Speaker. I just want to note that make it known that Councillor Marx is struggling to reconnect again. There seems to be a problem on his side. I'm not sure if Secretariat can just allow him in if there's a problem on their side. Just to make note. Thank you.
No, thanks very much. Application for leave of absence. I've received one from Councillor Ramokgoga Mendi. Hello?
Yes, I'm also present. It's Councillor Logodi. My hand has been up for quite some time.
Councillor Zets Logodi. Okay. Councillor Zakaria Logodi. Okay, thanks very much, Councillor Logodi. Honorable councillors, as I have already remarked in my opening statement, yesterday we received the shocking news of the passing of Councillor F.A. Haas. On behalf of Polokwane Municipality, I convey our sincere condolences to the family of Councillor Haas, friend, his colleague in the DA, and to fellow councillors who served with him in his different capacities. Councillor Haas is one of the longest-serving councillors in Polokwane Municipality. He stood resolute for the past 20 years, serving the City of Stars and contributing towards humanity. He viewed politics as cooperation and consensus because his approach towards politics was deriving ways of solving issues through conciliation and negotiation. He played a significant role in this municipality and is counted amongst those who sacrifice their lives and advocate for the provision of quality services to the people of Polokwane. His life was what Albert Einstein summed up when he said, "Only a life lived for others is a life worthwhile," close quote. His contribution to the community of Polokwane and this council will remain embedded in our hearts and give us more courage and commitment towards delivering quality services to the people of Polokwane. Honorable councillors, with those few words, I offer our sincere deepest condolences to his family, colleagues, and friends during their time of mourning. May the soul of Councillor Frank Haas rest in peace. I'm going to take this opportunity and offer it to the political parties to give their message of condolences. I will start with the African National Congress, represented by the Chief Whip, Councillor Tefo.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. Let me also take this opportunity to acknowledge leaders of opposition parties in Council, fellow councillors, administration, Councillor Haas family, if they are attending Council with us. Good morning, good afternoon. Honorable Speaker, I stand here with humility in my capacity as the Chief Whip of Council and on behalf of the African National Congress as we gather here this afternoon with broken hearts to pass our condolences to the Haas family, the DA, the community of Ward 21, which Councillor Haas has served with dedication. We understand that, as you already indicated, Speaker, that he started serving the community of Polokwane at a very tender age, and since then, he has never turned his back against his community, serving in various positions of development as a councillor of the DA in Council. Having joined this council around 2001 or 2002 or 2001, Councillor Haas was the longest serving member of this council. Councillor Haas takes with him a wealth of experience and knowledge which will be sorely missed by all. It was his dedication to the community that earned him the people's confidence to represent their aspiration and interest in council for these years. His dedication, Honorable Speaker, and compassion towards people and his work will be sorely missed by all those he touched, and he will remain embedded in our hearts as he is leaving behind a remarkable legacy in Council of Polokwane Municipality. To the colleagues in the DA, please receive our condolences as you have lost a colleague, your party leader in Polokwane, a friend and a soldier who understood his deployment and whose conviction made sure he served as deployed. This chamber will continue to donate his sharpness and level-headedness in addressing deployment, developmental and governance issues in the Polokwane municipality. We will continue to harness the spirit of multi-party democracy as we continue in healthy and sober, robust discussions to improve the lives of the people of Polokwane, whom Councillor Haas loved dearly. To the Haas family, the wife, Diane, and the children, the ANC conveys its heartfelt condolences. To us, he was a colleague, but to you, he was a husband, a father, and a friend. Be comforted that his life was his contribution to humanity, and that is what matters the most. We will remember him about. In our conviction, it is our conviction that only God you shall find consolation. His spirit will continue to shine and guide those whom he has touched. May his soul rest in peace. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thanks very much, Chief Whip. I'm going to request the EFF represented by Councillor Ramapakela.
Honorable Speaker, thank you. Today it's a sad day, Honorable Speaker. I can say sad day because it seems like we are beginning to meet only to commemorate lives of politicians who served at a council level and who most of them have been very key in this council. Today, we are sending our sympathies to the family of Haas and wishing the speedy recovery of his wife, whom yesterday I was told she's still in hospital because they were together when what happened. Councillor Haas came up as one of the most calm councillors in our council. No matter how the arguments would be, Councillor Haas would always keep his calm and exercise his intellect and his experience to make sure that we understand each other. To those of us who don't know what Councillor Haas was doing outside council, Councillor Haas stretched his hand towards empowerment of the Black entrepreneurs, especially those in the field of upholstery. I know just recently, last week, one of the entrepreneurs in upholstery came to confirm whether Councillor Haas, what he did for him was genuine, because he has secured an upholstery contract with the bus company called Limpopo Coaches. This upholster come from Seshego, and it was Councillor Haas who did that, and it was not only that entrepreneur. That was Haas for you. In council, we would share experiences and also exchange ideas without him boasting of his long-term in council or his color. Councillor Haas was not a racist. And this we saw, and I think Councillor Mwakamidi is my witness, when we were in Cape Town. The way we mingled well with him and exchanged a lot of things, ideas and other things. It showed that Councillor Haas was for this council, was for development, was for integration of the previously marginalized and empowerment. And he was looking forward to ensuring that this municipality becomes one of the corrupt-free municipalities. As the previous speaker said, Councillor Haas was leading this council from behind. I am quite sure that even in his family, calm as he was, they have lost a man who was very calm, who would listen, think, and talk. We are saying to the family of their Haas that we sympathize with them and may his soul rest in peace. Thank you, Speaker.
Thanks very much. I have received an indication that Councillor Marx is struggling to connect, but he will connect very soon. Now I'm going to Cope, Ntate Machaba.
Thanks, Speaker. We also want to pass our condolences to the Haas family, the Democratic Alliance, and the entire Ward 21 community. It was a privilege and honor to work with Councillor Haas for the past 12 years in the opposition benches, also in different portfolios. Polokwane municipality will miss you, Captain Haas, as we used to call him. May your soul rest in peace. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Councillor Machaba. Freedom Front Plus, Councillor Clark.
Thank you very much, Speaker. We learned of Councillor Haas's untimely demise. His passing is quite devastating news. We are deeply saddened, and I'm sure as a council, our collective hearts are heavy with sympathy, condolences and prayers to his family. Rest in peace. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Councillor Clark. Colleagues, Councillor Marx is going to represent the Democratic Alliance and the family. Councillor Marx.
Good morning, Speaker. Thank you, Speaker. Yes, Speaker, this week we have lost a great example of leadership. One might say that one of the giants of Polokwane has passed, but for me and others who knew Frank on a personal level, know that he was more like a giant teddy bear with a soft and caring heart. I feel so small, even as I'm writing this tribute to Frank Andreas Haas, born in Johannesburg on 27 June 1968 at Marymount Maternity Hospital. He was the first child to Lorna Catherine Haas, born Mockford, and Heinz Jürgen Haas from St. Georgen, Black Forest, Germany. Frank was named after Frank Mockford, a well-known and respected farmer in the Petersburg district. His second Christian name, Andreas, was given in honor of his German grandfather, who was a flight lieutenant in the German Air Force, who was shot down when Heinz was 4 months old. In November 1971, the Haas family moved to Petersburg, where Frank's father started Tooltrick, a business supplying special machinery and tools. Frank went to PEMS for his primary school education and matriculated at Capricorn High School. Frank was called up to serve his country at the age of 18. He did his basic training at Heidelberg, Transvaal, and went to the Potchefstroom Equestrian Unit, where he qualified as a riding instructor. He then was posted at the Red Zone in Musina, where he served his country well and received various commendations. After his army career, he then joined his father at Tooltrick, where he was a very successful partner and helped his father. At his father's retirement, he then took full control of running the business. Frank was always a community-minded person and joined Round Table 22, where he served a few times as chairperson. At one time, his father, Heinz, was president of the Petersburg Rotary Club and Frank chairman of Round Table. The well-known town clerk, Mr. Jack Boters, commended the Haas family for their excellent community spirit, helping the disadvantaged through the servicing of this club. Frank married Diane, born Schulenburg, on the 2nd day of October 1993 in Petersburg Christ Anglican Church, the same church his parents were married on 10 December 1966. Frank and Diane were blessed with the birth of Andreas Frank Haas on 27 November 1997. Frank was a respectful human being. Not only did he command respect, but he respected the other person, no matter the color, creed, political party, or social standing. Frank was a singular figure on the global stage, a man of quiet dignity, unbiased fairness, and a down-to-earth human inspiration. I'm profoundly saddened by his passing, and I will miss him as one of my closest and dearest friends. Frank Haas devoted his life to serving the people of Polokwane and humanity. His principled stance and the moral force that underpinned it were decisive in convincing various members of this council on numerous occasions to rethink their stance on certain topics and to then vote in the best interest of all residents of Polokwane. I was privileged to meet Frank during 2013 while contesting a by-election in Ward 20, and I was moved by his selflessness and deep sense of shared purpose. He was never a councillor who was looking or canvassing for votes, but he genuinely took pride in being a councillor and serving all the people of Polokwane. All he ever wanted to do was to help people. His love for humanity will be missed by various organizations, not only in Polokwane, but all over South Africa and even in Germany. To mention only a few, Polokwane Round Table. I'm told that Frank was the longest serving member of the Polokwane Round Table, serving approximately 19 years. On average, a long-serving member will only serve 12 to 13 years. Frank, for example, was the past president for 3 terms and an honorary Round Table member. The neighborhood watch and CPFs. Frank was a very active community policing activist and always participated in meetings and late-night patrols to protect the residents of Polokwane, while the rest of us were sleeping safely in our beds. Hailstorm, Gunsight SA, Northern Defence, Pistol Club, and firearm rights. Frank was one of the leaders of the fight for firearm rights in South Africa, and he strongly believed that each citizen has the right to be able to protect him or herself. Frank was the co-owner of a reputable and well-known firearm dealership in Pretoria, Hailstorm. He was also the co-owner of Gunsight SA, an online forum where people can talk about and get information about firearms, a forum with a membership of just over 35,000 people. He was a lifelong member of NDPC, the Northern Defence Pistol Club, and a qualified firearm safety officer. In his younger years, he served in the military with distinction. Tooltrick, together with his father, they were the proud owners of the reputable shop specializing in quality tools, Tooltrick Polokwane, since November 1971, and to be the owner of a 50-year-old business founded by a father speaks for itself. He was involved with the Friends of the Polokwane Game Reserve and was an active member and served on a municipal portfolio and committees related to environmental issues and was a nature-loving person. Democratic Alliance. Frank was a member of the DA in good standing for more than 21 years. I can just add that he was also a councillor in this municipality for 21 years. From a caucus point of view, Frank can best be described as the difficult but fair member in the Limpopo caucus. Frank always stood firm to his beliefs and principles and took on many of our own members, including prominent national and provincial leaders, where he was of the view that they were not acting according to DA policy and the laws of the country. One thing that stood out for me was the fact that Frank had no ambition whatsoever to take his political career further than that of a municipal councillor. With his leadership skills, he could have been in Parliament years ago, but he profoundly refused to accept nomination as a candidate for Parliament, maintaining that he loves Polokwane and its people, and this is where he wants to serve as a public representative. I will always remember the time when Frank only needed 7 votes to become the executive mayor of Polokwane in 2016. Without taking anything away from the outgoing mayor, I think Frank would have been an outstanding mayor who would have served all the residents of Polokwane without any fear or favor. His loving wife Diane always supported him in his political endeavors and served on his ward committee for a number of years. Without any doubt in my mind, I can attest to the fact that Frank was not power hungry. When he was elected to a leadership position, his end goal was to create a better world for everybody. His ultimate goal lay not in wielding power for the sake of satisfying his ego, but he had democracy, civil liberties, equality, and social justice for all in his mind. Frank was, however, not a bust made of marble. He was a man of flesh and blood, as a son to Uncle Heinz, Auntie Lorna,
a loving husband to Diane, a father to Andreas, a big brother to Trish, Debbie, and Joyce, a beloved nephew and cousin to the Mockford family, and a friend and colleague to us all. That is why I have learned so much from him. That is why we can still learn from him. Save from my own father, it is this man and what he stood for that has enabled me to become part of a collective, a naturally more individualistic kind of person who is more comfortable being on the outside of a group than being submerged in it. I have never had any hesitation in identifying intellectually and emotionally with the ideals that Frank represented and of being part of the society that came into being under his leadership. The family thanks the community for the many condolences received and takes comfort and strength from them in this trying and sad time. God's strength and presence will carry us through this tough and sad time. Frank leaves a legacy and an example that will stretch nearly all of us to a higher form of leadership. May you rest in peace, my friend. Your friend, Councillor Franco Marx. Thank you.
Thanks very much. We understand, Councillor Marx, the difficulties that you are finding yourself in. Now we are going to move to item number 5, the announcement, item number 6. Councillor Marx, if you can, any announcement from the family?
Thank you, Speaker. Thank you, Andrea, for standing in. Speaker, I have not received any notifications so far. As soon as I receive funeral arrangements and so on, I'll immediately inform you and the Speaker's office. I can just mention that his wife is still in the hospital. She has some injuries, including broken ribs. I did speak to her this morning. I was at his home as well. She's recovering well. And I assume that they will wait for her to come out of the hospital before the funeral starts. Thank you very much, Speaker.
No, thanks very much, Councillor Marx. Colleagues, I want to thank you for attending this special council meeting, and this meeting is officially closed. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker.